All right, hello everyone, and peace of Christ to all of you. I hope my voice is coming good and clear. Please invite your friends, and if you are a Muslim, invite your 4 wives and 60 kids.
Amazing. Princess saying what Islam mean. All right, we answered this question many times, but I assume that always we have a new people here listening, so I don't mind really to answer such a question. You see, we were talking about brother Nabil Qurashi and others who keep saying that the word or Islam means submission, and I told you that this is not true. You know, the Islam have nothing to do with the word submission, and that's not even close. The word Islam means, you know, you surrender. All right, you surrender. If we go to all the verses in the Quran, like mostly all the translators, they get it wrong except Biktal. Let me show you. If we take chapter 2 verse number 112, chapter 2 verse 112, let us show the verse in the screen. I hope it's clear. You will see the verse. It says, nay, but who is ever surrender his purpose to Allah. Surrender his purpose to Allah. So what the word surrender here translating what? The word aslam. The word aslam. It's not submission. So this translator, strangely, he got it right. Maybe he asked someone he is expert in the Arabic language, and you know, he told him that the correct word is to say surrender. Now there's a verse actually to prove my point, to make it more clear. If you go to chapter 49, verse number 14, and let us go there. In that chapter, it says the Bedouin, the Arab, the real Arab, not the Pakistani and the Taliban and Afghan. You know, those are the real Arab. The real Arab, they said to Muhammad, we believe, we are believers. Muhammad said to them, well, you know what? Don't say you believe, say we surrender. Say we surrender. Let me give you the verse. Okay, here. I have to take the numbers to make it fit, all of it. Hold on, here we go. This is better. The Bedouin say, we believe, say you believe not, but you have only, say, we have surrender in Islam. Surrender, actually, the word in Islam does not exist, but it is, the word surrender here is a translation for the word Islam. You get my point? So they are saying, we believe, we became believers. He says, don't say that. You did not really believe, you surrender, you became a Muslim. So Becoming a Muslim in Islam does not mean to believe, but it means to surrender. And Muhammad, he don't really care if you are a believer or not. What he care for that you surrender. And here, this is will be like a question will lead to many questions. You know, the Muslims, they say to you that the Quran was an amazing book, and the Quran, even Allah in the time of Muhammad, he made a challenge. Who can make Quran like this? Who can make what? Who can make Quran like this? And the Arab, they cannot make Quran like this. But hold on, if the Quran alone is amazing miracle, how come the Arab are not convinced? How come? Why the Muslim? Why those Arab? They are surrendering to Islam, but they don't believe. They don't believe in the Quran to be a miracle. What the reason? It doesn't make sense. Any Muslim here? I'm looking at the questions to see if there's any question here. No Muslim disagree? Any Muslim have an explanation? Why the Arab, they are converting to Islam, but they don't believe? Obviously, because he forced them. This is why the day Muhammad he died, tens of thousands of believers became non-believers, and that was a very well-known day. It's called the day of apostate. And Abu Bakr, he raised a war. It's called the war of apostate. If you have a question, you can click at be part of the conversation and you can ask your question. Feel free, please. What about the pilgrims travel to Mecca? Does the Quran mention it? Because if not, would be another pillar next to you see the Quran, he's the Quran spoke about the Kaaba, that you have to go and you have to pray into the direction of the Kaaba. And the Kaaba is a location where every Muslim have to pray to, but the Hajj itself is not really something explained, or there is let us say there's an order to do, but there is some verses speaking about how important the Kaaba, and but how you go, how you do Hajj, how you visit the Hajj, this practice does not exist. What we have simply as an example, the Quran talk about as-Safa and al-Marwa. As-Safa and al-Marwa, which is supposedly part of the Hajj. And the same verse actually, it says, if you speak about, if you go to chapter 2 verse 158, it says that the Safa and al-Marwa is from the let us say the ritual activities of Allah, belong to Allah. So whoever do pilgrimage to the Kaaba, it's not wrong to do so. But it doesn't show really anything in there speaking about that the Hajj itself is you know, like the details of the Hajj or why you have to do the Hajj, etc. There's nothing about that. All right. Like in chapter 2 verse 150, is speaking about the direction of the prayer for the Muslims. You know, chapter 2 verse 189 is speaking about the Hajj, but just a word, you know. Same as chapter 2 verse 196. It says you do the Hajj, you do the pilgrimage, but how, we do not know, you know. Like it just says how like you know, as an example, don't shave your head until you do this, etc. But the details of the Hajj is not there. Like does it say in the Quran that you go around the Kaaba and you kiss the black stone and the way you pray and the way you do things? No, but it's mentioned the Hajj, yes. Any other question? Anyone? And by the way, when we speak about the Safa and Marwa, we need to ask ourselves why the Safa and Marwa is part of the Hajj. The Safa and Marwa, it was a ritual of the pagans where a man and a woman, they had sex in the Kaaba, and supposedly those people, they made a statues for them, one in As-Safa and one in Al-Marwa. And then when Muhammad, he told them to practice it, the Muslims were not happy with it, and they said, why we should practice it? This is not a pagan. So Muhammad, he made a verse saying to them, it is As-Safa and Al-Marwa is from the ritual and the practice of Hajj in Islam. But why? I changed the Muslim to tell me why. Everybody knows that this was part of the pagan belief. Let me show it to you in the screen so people will not say I'm making things up. Let us go here. All right, this is the official government website of Jordan. Look what it says. The Muslims were they were unhappy with this because this was a pagan Arab used to do it. They used to go between them, and there was an idol atop of each mountain which they used to stroke. All right. So why Muhammad is making this idols visiting is part of his religion? The Kaaba is built by Abraham as they claim, no problem. You have to visit the Kaaba to do Hajj, no problem. As-Safa is what? Any Muslim can tell me? It's obvious that this was a pagan place where there's idols located there, and people, they circumambulate between them, and they go between them round the trip in a certain way, and Muhammad is doing this exactly. And then Muhammad, he's saying that this is considered to be a pillars of the Hajj. Why? Any Muslim can tell me? Simply what Muhammad trying to do, he's trying to make the Arab happy I'm not taking all your religion and throwing it in the garbage. Here we go. You have the Kaaba, I will keep the Kaaba. You have the black stone, I will kiss the black stone. You have the pagans belief of as-Safa and Marwa, I will keep as-Safa and Marwa. And whatever you have, I will keep. What Muhammad took, he took some idols, but he kept the rest. As-Safa and Marwa is nothing but a shameful behavior, because simply, and by the way, as-Safa and Marwa is a sexual belief, because people believe that as-Safa and Marwa, it was for a man and a woman. Isaf and Naila. Isaf is the guy, Naila is the girl. Both of them, they have sex in the Kaaba. All right. Both of them, they have sex in the Kaaba, and they made a statues for them. Let me show you from the book of Asbab al-Nuzul, which means the reason for the verses to come. Look with me here. The Muslims, they said, we dislike going in between as-Safa and al-Marwa, because they were the shrines of the Quraysh in the pre-Islamic period, and so we abandoned them in Islam. Allah revealed this verse, said Omar, etc. I asked Omar about this verse, etc., etc. He said there was on al-Safa an idol in the form of a man called Isaf, and in the al-Marwa an idol in the form of a woman called Naila. And the people of the book claim that those two had committed adultery in the Kaaba, and as punishment Allah turned them into two stones. This is absolutely a fabrication, because people of the book is the Christian and the Jews. We are not people who believe in the Kaaba anyway, and we have nothing to do with this garbage. But based in all historian books, Islamic books, that it's true that there is a status for Isaf, which is a man, and Naila, which is a woman, and those two statues are naked, showing their private parts with no clothes. And actually this is explained to us why the Arab used to go around the Kaaba, and then they go to as-Safa and al-Marwa, and they were naked, wearing no clothes. If we go in the hadith, you will see the following. Let me show you. Here we go. When the day of Al-Hamis, when things get so hot not as weather, but like, you know, it's very exciting, the day of excitement of Hajj. All right, so they used to go around the house totally naked. Do you see it? Why people want to go against the Hajj around the Kaaba naked? Any Muslim can tell us? Any Abdul? Why people they are going around the Kaaba naked? What the purpose? What kind of religion they are worshiping? I mean, what kind of religion they practice? Obviously, this is a sexual religion. In different hadith, it says that we used to go and circumambulate around the Kaaba, and our penis is dripping sperm. Our private parts dripping sperm, which means they are having sex. Let me show you the hadith. Here we go. You see, the translation is very funny, because in Arabic it says, just this is why I say Muslims are not truthful. It says here, فَنَخْرُجُ إِلَيْهَا وَمَذَاكِيرُنَا تَقْطُرُ مُنِيًا, which mean we go out to the Hajj and our penises is dripping sperm. But I don't see it here. Oh, here we go. Actually, it's here. All right, here we go. We go until we arrive into Arafah, and we will G out with our male organs dripping with the semen. Like, why they are circling around the Kaaba and going to the Hajj, and what do you mean your penis is dripping semen? What does that mean? Why somebody is doing Hajj, praying to Allah around the Kaaba, and his penis is dripping sperm? So we have people going naked around the Kaaba, naked with no clothes. When we say no clothes, no clothes. When strangers, they are not from Mecca, they come to the Kaaba, the old tradition of the people of Mecca, you have to rent from them clothes. However, when you go and circulate around the Kaaba, you have to get naked, and this is how they make money actually. So you cannot use your own clothes which you came with from different city. So you have to take off your clothes and rent from them clothes or buy from them clothes, and then when you circulate around the Kaaba, you take off your clothes, men and women. And we showed you that in the hadith. And here we go, we see that's you know, people are going around the Kaaba and their sperm is dripping. Like a guy, he had sex with his wife, with my respect to everybody. For how long his private part will be dripping sperm? Like, is that a faucet? Do we have a leak there? You don't drip sperm for an hour and 2 hours. You know, we don't want to speak dirty here, but obviously there's something wrong in this religion, right? Do we have any Muslim don't agree?